What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And sensationally, it has been claimed that Raheem Sterling could come back to Liverpool a few years after he signed for Man City and won a few Premier League titles. He was still under Brendan Rodgers when he decided to join Manchester City. Let me know in the comments below, would you want Liverpool to sign and bring Raheem Sterling back to Liverpool? Do you think it would be a sensible and a good transfer or not? Let me know, and also leave a like on this video if you enjoy these transfer news updates, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news. And Raheem Sterling changed his agent recently, and players usually do that when they are likely to move clubs in the next transfer window, or likely that Raheem Sterling anticipates moving clubs. Either he wants to leave Manchester City, or either he expects Manchester City to sell him in the summer transfer window. And the Liverpool Echo newspaper claims that Raheem Sterling returning to Liverpool is now more likely because of a change of agents from Raheem Sterling. The prospect of Sterling coming back to Anfield would seem potentially a huge U-turn. And also, Sterling joined Liverpool when he was just 15 years old from QPR in 2010, and he left Anfield 5 years later in 2015. That was still pretty long ago, like 6 years ago. He played 6 seasons for Manchester City since then, and he scored a whopping 114 goals in those 6 seasons, so on average almost 20 goals a season in 292 games. He's very rarely injured. Always he played at least 46 games for Manchester City, which I think is a huge plus. And yes, this past season hasn't been his most prolific or his best season. He only scored 14 goals, only 10 goals in the Premier League. But in his previous 3 seasons, he scored 23, 25 and 31 goals, which is an absolutely staggering number. And I think Raheem Sterling fixed his major weakness, which was at Liverpool, that he missed too many chances. His shot wasn't powerful enough. I still don't think his shot is powerful enough, but at least he started taking more of his chances. But this season, it looks like old habits came back, because this season he also missed a lot of chances, especially the second half of the season. And I'm a big criticizer of Raheem Sterling, because since February the 21st, he only scored 1 goal for Manchester City in like 15 or 20 games, something like that, which is a big goal drought in my opinion. And yes, he scored the winner against Croatia for England. But now let's talk about Raheem Sterling potentially coming back to Anfield. Remember that he refused a new incredible deal, described incredible by Brendan Rodgers, to sign for Man City, but he was vindicated because he won many trophies with Man City. And at that time Liverpool were falling off. We weren't really challenging at the time for the Premier League title. And sports finance journalist Alex Miller now claims that the chances of Raheem Sterling coming back to Liverpool are more likely after he ditched his agent, according to what he describes as a well-placed source. He adds that a major obstacle has been removed, but Liverpool would still need the transfer fee, the price, to be right, and also for Jurgen Klopp to be convinced by the player's commitment. And also, would Manchester City really sell one of their best attackers, Raheem Sterling, to a major title rival like Liverpool? It's very unlikely unless we pay well over the odds for Raheem Sterling, which I don't see Liverpool doing. And actually, Sterling previously was asked directly if he would ever consider a Liverpool return one day, and his answer was very telling and very interesting. Would I ever go back to Liverpool? To be honest with you, I still love Liverpool. Don't get it twisted, they are always in my heart. It's a team that has done a lot for me growing up, so that's that. And 15 months on, Raheem Sterling still hasn't signed a contract extension, and his current contract at Man City is up in 2023. So if Man City want really big money for Raheem Sterling, they either sell him this summer or next summer. But next summer his transfer fee will be lower, because then he will have only 1 year left on his contract. And unless Raheem Sterling extends his contract, I think his market value will only go down over the next 2 years, At right now at this time, he's at a very good age. He's just 26 years old, so he still has a very good 5, 6, 7 years ahead of him at the top of his game. But I think there is just too much bad blood between Raheem Sterling and Liverpool, between Raheem Sterling and Liverpool players. Remember the bust-up between Raheem Sterling and Joe Gomez in the England camp, where basically Raheem Sterling tried to start a fight with Joe Gomez. It was really a disgraceful fiasco and a disgraceful episode in Raheem Sterling's career, in my opinion. So basically what happened in November 2019, Raheem Sterling clashed with Joe Gomez in a Liverpool-Manchester City game, which Liverpool I think won 3-1. And that bad-tempered bust-up spilled over into international duty because in the England camp, Raheem Sterling, who is 5'7" tall, he basically went up to Sterling and asked if he was still the big man. Joe Gomez is 6'2" tall, and Raheem Sterling tried to start a fight with him. So in the end, he was sent home from the England camp. But reading the comments under this article in the Liverpool Echo, basically no Liverpool fan really wants Raheem Sterling back at Liverpool because he said some really bad things about Liverpool. He said one day in a title race, Liverpool winning the league, nobody wants that. He said that, and yeah, I don't like Raheem Sterling. I don't want Raheem Sterling back at Liverpool, but that's just my personal opinion. I try to make these videos a little bit unbiased, so of course I will tell you my opinion, but I also want to report in an unbiased manner, and I want to present you guys the full report and the facts and also the possibilities. Right now it's a little bit unlikely that Raheem Sterling comes back to Liverpool, but stranger things have happened in the world of football. The most famous case, Luis Figo, after playing for Barcelona, signing for Real Madrid and then going back to Barcelona, and a pig's head was thrown on the pitch towards Luis Figo. I think that's the most famous or high-profile case of a big player signing for a direct rival. And I mean, Man City and Liverpool have a rivalry on the pitch in terms of right now they are two of the best teams in England fighting for the Premier League trophy, the Champions League. But are they really big rivals? No, they are not rivals in a classic sense. They are not as nearly as big of a rival as Everton or Man United are to Liverpool. So I think it is a possible transfer, but it's at the moment I would give 20-30% of it happening. Raheem Sterling also is of course an England international. He scored 15 goals in 62 games for England, but I still think that Raheem Sterling would need to get back to his goal scoring form in the previous 3 years. If he could score 15-20 goals for Liverpool, then that would be a great transfer. But you never know. You know, if you sign Sterling and he doesn't fit in at Liverpool, or if he doesn't get his goal scoring numbers back up to the previous 3 years, then it is a wasted transfer. But you never know that until after the fact or in hindsight. So yeah, it's a very interesting conversation to have. Do Liverpool go for Raheem Sterling? I think he would go for big money, and I would rather spend that money on a Diogo Jota type of transfer or an Erling Haaland if it's attainable. Basically, one of the main reasons why Raheem Sterling could leave Liverpool is he lost his place in the starting lineup towards the end of last season because of so many missed chances. He basically squandered so many chances. Raheem Sterling, Pep Guardiola got fed up with him, and he put him out of the team. And according to some Spanish newspapers, Barcelona and Real Madrid are both trying to sign Sterling. Barcelona have identified Sterling as a possible replacement for Ousmane Dembele. Dembele is out of contract next summer, so Barcelona are expected to cash in on the player, and then that will leave a big space for Raheem Sterling to move into. And I mean, there are even stories that Arsenal are interested in Raheem Sterling, but I don't think Sterling would go from Man City, from Premier League title winners, to also Rennes Arsenal, because right now, yes, Arsenal are still a big club, but they are not in Europe. They finished in mid-table in the Premier League. And I don't think just signing Raheem Sterling would improve Arsenal that much that they would challenge for the title or even the top 4 next season. And Aston Villa star Jack Grealish has spoken very highly of Jordan Henderson. He said that Henderson is helping him grow up by the way he acts on and more specifically off the pitch. I was always going to grow up a bit more. You come to England and you see the likes of Henderson and Harry Kane and what they do off the field. Obviously what they do on it, we can all see that. But what they do on the training pitch and around the place and how they look after themselves, it's no wonder why they have had the careers they have had. I think that's one of the main things that's helped me mature as a player, as a person, and as a captain. And I think Henderson is a really brilliant role model. So I think Jack Grealish is really spot on with that, with this. And David Lynch, a journalist with close connections to Liverpool FC, has said that Liverpool are not keen at all on any of their players being involved in the Summer Olympics, which is held in Japan, where the COVID situation is pretty bad. The COVID cases are pretty high. And Takumino, it looks like he left the Japan squad, and it was pre-agreed and not linked to a transfer, but his Liverpool FC future remains unclear, as does his place in the Olympics. And it looks like that Japan will take 3 other players as overage players to the Olympics. I think you can take 3 over 23 aged players to the Olympics, and Japan want to take 3 different players and not Minamino. And the big question is, what will Salah do? If Salah was asked from Egypt, let's go to the Olympics, he hardly says no, because he loves his country, he loves Egypt, he loves representing Egypt, but the COVID situation in Japan is very bad, and also the Olympics overlaps with the Premier League season, so Salah would miss the first 2 or 3 games of the Premier League season, which would be a major blow for Liverpool. So there is a conflict of interest between what is the interest of Liverpool and what is the interest of the Egypt national team. So it's a really delicate and difficult situation. And I think now that Shaqiri and Origi is very likely to leave Liverpool at the start of next season, it's possible that Jurgen Klopp would want to keep Minamino. He said that he wanted to keep Minamino and he wants to give him more chances next season. Last season we loaned him out because he hardly ever played at that time. And of course we didn't anticipate even bigger injury crisis to happen at Liverpool, but I think ultimately it was the right decision because Minamino got very valuable Premier League experience at Southampton. He scored some good goals and played a lot of games. So now hopefully Minamino will come back as a better player at Liverpool. And according to Paul Gorst, who is a journalist working for the Liverpool Echo, Liverpool are continuing the sorting out of new contracts to key players as a priority, despite speculation over potential replacements for Wijnaldum. But he also said that journalist said that he would be shocked and stunned if Liverpool didn't end up sorting out a midfield signing. He said, "What I'm hearing is Liverpool are planning to resolve the contract situations of some of their top stars as a matter of priority when they return to pre-season. So Salah, Van Dijk and other players could get new contracts, Alisson as well. A replacement for Wijnaldum is not high on the agenda. However," he said, "I would be stunned if Liverpool did not look at a potential replacement for a midfielder who played 51 times last season. Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain obviously cannot fill that void. They are just too injury prone. They have struggled to find consistent playing time at Liverpool, even amongst an unprecedented number of injuries throughout last season. I think Naby Keita would be an absolutely brilliant player alongside Fabinho and Henderson, or alongside Fabinho and Thiago. But can he play regularly, and would Jurgen Klopp play him regularly? That's a big question." And Paul Gorst also confirmed that Liverpool won't be getting rid of either one of Sadio Mane or Bobby Firmino this summer. No, Liverpool won't be getting rid of either players. I think Mane will be transformed by the return of fans as it goes. And Firmino, I am less convinced by long term, but if they do bring in another attacker, which I expect the Liverpool to, it will be to give the team more competition for places, not to replace an outgoing player such as Mane or Firmino. I really want to give them one more season. With fans back in the stadium, we have to see how Mane and Firmino play. We have to see how they react. And then we will see whether they are still good enough for Liverpool or is it time for them to move on. And Wijnaldum says that he signed for Paris Saint-Germain because Barcelona talks dragged on for too long. He said, I was negotiating with Barcelona for 4 weeks and we never reached a final decision. Paris Saint-Germain were much clearer. Probably Wijnaldum wanted higher wages than what Barcelona wanted to offer him. He said, I made another choice. It was very difficult. I was negotiating with Barcelona for 4 weeks, but we could never reach a conclusion. PSG were a bit better in making a decision. They were quicker, and the project that they have at PSG, it really appealed to me. It was a difficult choice I have, to be honest. I thought I would be moving to Barcelona because they were the only team who were really interested in me, but we did not reach an agreement together. PSG were much clearer in making that decision and ended up signing me, and he wants to win. Wijnaldum wants to win many trophies at Paris Saint-Germain. I think he will, but the big one is the Champions League for PSG. Can they win that with Wijnaldum? If they can, Wijnaldum will be forever not just a legend at Liverpool, but a legend at PSG as well. And thanks for watching, guys. That's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.